Welcome to the GCNTech show.
And this week, we're on tour. Your eyes aren't deceiving you. This is actually the Bossana Clubhouse in Bossana del Grappa in Italy. And we're here for a not so top secret mission, which we will reveal the details of later. But while we were here, we were thinking, we travel a lot with bikes, and combined, we worked out that we have over 30 years experience with traveling with bikes all around the world. And we thought we'd use that and tell you what are our essential bits of advice and bits of tech that we would recommend you can't live without when traveling.
And then also in hot tech, we've got an oversized pulley wheel system that you have to request to be able to buy. We've got an even more expensive oversized pulley wheel system from CeramicSpeed. We've got titanium fenders. We've got a slightly more affordable titanium all-road bike. And we're going to discuss some of the tech from the World Time Trial Champs.
Let's do it. So this place is absolutely mega where we are here. The Clubhouse, and this is a good thing, because it's like when you travel somewhere that you've got like everything under one roof that you could possibly need. And when you travel to places that are a hub for cycling, it's great, because you've got like things like a track pump there, you know, you've got a workshop, you've got tools, you can hire a bike if you need to.
You've basically got everything you could possibly think of.
But not everywhere has this kind of stuff. Like, that's the thing. And the other thing is we know that most people, when they travel with bikes, well, they don't. They rent a bike when they get to their destination. That is what most people do. But we definitely feel that a lot of people are missing out by not traveling with their bikes to places where you couldn't necessarily rent one. And also, I feel that people are too scared to travel with their bikes. They really are too scared to do it.
Well,
we do it all the time.
Sometimes for good reason, though. But yeah, we do it all the time, right?
Yeah.
So we've got some advice and experience I think it's well worth sharing. And we should sort of go through like the must-haves and essentials that should, in theory, make your life a lot easier, right?
So in our sort of combined sort of 30-odd years of travelling with bikes, have you ever smashed a frame?
Yes.
How? What happened?
Once. And it was completely my own doing, right? Get this. Somebody said to me, I was like, look, I need to travel with two bikes. Somebody said to me, oh, that's fine, just put them in one bag. You ain't got to pay for one thing. Did that. What happened? Bike broke.
So you forced two bikes into one bag?
Yeah. Biggest and most expensive mistake I've ever made when traveling. Don't do that.
I've seen people who have had frames cracked. While transporting them.
But I think that leads on to like the whole...
I've never had one. But do you know what? So this is it. This leads us on to the first big thing, which is adequate case or bag or whatever. But I've never had a frame get damaged.
Okay.
Traveling with it.
It's probably because you've had all the best equipment all the time.
No, I've used a range of different things.
Yeah.
When I've seen frames get damaged, it's always been in a soft case. And look, I always go hard. Never soft. That's my rule.
That's your motto, is it?
That's my motto. People ask me this all the time. You know, I'm looking for a case. Do I go hard? Do I go soft?
Yeah.
I wouldn't even entertain the idea of going soft. I'd always go hard.
Cool.
Always.
Yeah.
Always.
Well, I'm actually pretty glad we cleared that up, because the biggest
I'm not just saying that for like some like schoolboy joke. I'm like dead serious about that. Often hard case is a bit more expensive, but it's totally worth doing.
There's no schoolboy jokes here. Actually, the first bike bag I ever had was a homemade one, because when I was a kid, I couldn't afford to buy one, so I got my mum to make one, right? She got this really tough material and stitched it all together, and it was essentially like a giant-sized bag for life for your bike, which was in essence, the worst idea I've ever had, because there was no protection to my bike whatsoever. So yeah, it was completely useless.
Yeah,
But like, okay, so we've cleared up the idea of like, look, travel with a hard case, invest some money in protecting your bike, because if you are going to travel with your bike, there's no point arriving at your destination with a broken one and then having an expensive problem to then sort out, right?
Do you know what the most underrated aspect of bike case, after the protection aspect?
Yeah.
Do you know what the most underrated aspect is?
Go on.
Right. Ease of pushing, like pushability.
I can't believe we're spending so long talking about a bike
It's true though.
Yeah.
Do you know, like when a bike box or bag is massive and heavy, and it's a pain to lug around an airport or a hotel or wherever you're going. when you've experienced one that's easy to push around, it's life-changing compared to one that's, especially if you're a typical cyclist like me, and you've got little puny arms.
Yeah, that is a really good point, right? And I'm in complete agreement. Yeah, you don't want one where you got to lug it and carry it around. That's rubbish. That's difficult. I feel like we've talked about bike bags for quite a while now. I feel we need to move on a little bit.
I love a good one.
I'm thinking you've arrived at your destination. Your bike's in one piece because you've had a good quality bike box, because that's what we've advised. What are the other stuff you need? I'm thinking, like, for starters, you're going to have to build your bike in one way or another. So you're going to need, like, those essential tools and spares to get you going, and a good pump, right? No one is going to want to arrive somewhere and then try and pump their tyres up with a little mini pump that's like that big that you stick in your pocket.
If you don't know what you're doing, ask.
Yeah.
Or watch like one of our videos or something, or look. There are loads of videos on the internet, but like the amount of times I've seen people who cock something up.
Yeah.
And we've got the maintenance book available in the shop. But my absolute favourite thing, and something I can't live without, I've shown this on the show before, but is the little mini ratchet set. Like, this thing's blooming great. It's got all the little heads in there. And it has like a little mini kind of like torque wrench on there, so you're not going to crack your seat post when you put it in. But these things are like, I just take this everywhere. Like,
again,
it's so
worth its weight in gold.
And it's compact and it's relatively light. You don't need a full toolbox. You can't have the weight of that. So
no, that's a good point.
Things like that are useful, and a floor pump's really good. I never fully deflate my tyres. That's another thing. I've said that before. I don't fly all the time. Never fully deflate my tyres. Tyres are not going to just, spontaneoly combust and explode.
No.
And take the plane down.
But like a pump is a good point. Like, I've got this really like compact mini floor pump, essentially. It's the exact same one that you've got, because I saw you had it. I was incredibly jealous. And then I got one myself. This is what happens with all of the little tools and accessories. You get all the good stuff, and then like, I want one of those. Months later down the line, I'm like, can I have one, please? And everyone's like, oh yeah, if you really have to have one.
Yeah. Get Chloe to get you one.
Yeah, then I get one. But something else which has caught me out when I've been traveling in the past is, it doesn't really matter where you go in the world, or even if you come to like a fantastic destination like this, where you've kind of got all of the different accessories and stuff that you could possibly need, but there are some things that sometimes you just cannot get, like real specific parts for your bike. The first thing that comes to mind is like a rear derailleur hanger. Like, just take a spare one with you. Yeah. It's easy to damage. It's like a sacrificial part of your bike.
Yeah.
And if you can't get one, you're not cycling anywhere in a hurry.
Yeah.
And you're not going to get one quick. So carry like specific parts to your bike as a spare.
Spare mech hangers, absolute classic. Absolute classic. I think, what was I going to say? Oh, weight.
Well, we can talk about weight. I've got a really important point to make. So if, like we've advised people, a little mini upgrade you want to make to your bike, the titanium Silka 3D printed mech hanger, if you've upgraded to one of those, you've already got a spare mech hanger from the one that you've taken off, so take that with you.
Yeah. And the other thing is, like, people often worry on airlines and stuff about like the total weight, and it's quite hard to weigh a bike bag because most people don't have scales that are going to be able to weigh what bike bag. Best way to do it is, well, like a chemistry thing, weigh by difference.
Yeah.
So you just stand on your bathroom scales and hold the bike bag. And then weigh just yourself, and the difference is the weight of the bag.
Quick maths.
Yeah, useful to do, but if you are struggling for weight, most times when I've flown with a bike, the people, when you check in the bike bag, because the bike bag has to go in oversized luggage anyway, they ask you what the weight of the bike is. So say if you're flying with a bike bag and know what the weight limit is for that airline, so sometimes it can be on the nose, like it can be maybe like 23 kilograms.
Yeah, I'm about to say you've cheated the system, are you?
Yes. So sometimes I've had bikes that are right on the nose before.
Yeah.
When I've weighed it before, and you go to the check-in desk and they go, how much is this bike box weigh? And they're not going to weigh it because it doesn't fit on the little scale next to where you're checking in the luggage. You just go, I was really confident, 21 kilos. Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
I did do that once. The lady at the check-in desk was like, "Did it weigh more than 25 kilos?" I was like, "No, it's 24." Yeah. Always. Okay, but if you switch to like different types of bike boxes and careful with the spares and essentials that you take, it's going to help keep the weight a bit down.
What is the biggest kind of like mechanical boo-boo that you've done while traveling with a bike? Because there's one in my mind that really sticks out that I did.
I think it's probably going to be over like more recent times and like more modern, slightly more premium tech is like damaging like a Di2 cable or something like that.
That is my one. That is my exact one.
Yeah? Like not quite unplugging it, or it's got caught or snagged, and then you're like, oh god. But there's another common simple one that I've done is the like clamp which holds your seat post in the frame. It's like an integral integrated one.
Classic.
You either left it behind somewhere, it's lost in your bike bag, or you've left it at home. Don't do that, that's a bad thing to do. Or it's like wedged inside the seat tube and it's an absolute nightmare to get out.
Yeah.
Hate that.
Any like clamps or bolts or loose bits, always take them out, put them somewhere safe. Get a little like sandwich bag or something. You can even put them in your hand luggage, and they're fine for hand luggage. Keep them safe if you really want to. But yeah, I've done this. I did this mistake once, and it was we were opening weekend, and it was me and Connor just before lockdown. And in Flanders, and yeah, I was building my bike late night in the hotel, and just basically put the seat post in and crushed a Di2 cable in the seat post.
That's the worst thing ever.
Yeah, and then that's a pain, because you then had to like reroute the cable back through the bike and get a replacement cable and all this stuff. Fortunately, I found a bike shop that did it, but like a pain. So
well, if you're on holiday, that's a day of your holiday wasted.
Yeah,
right?
And the other thing that I would say is with the new Di2, that was old 11-speed Di2. With the new Di2, the cables are like angel wire. They are like...
they are thin.
They're like a lot thinner than the old ones.
Yeah.
And they're, as a result, more delicate and easier to crush. So if you're building a Di2 bike, or like that, be careful.
Okay, like
but be careful in general.
We're major bike tech nerds, right? I feel like most of what we've spoken about is technical build-in elements before your holiday. But also, I think one important thing to me is a tech or an innovation really that wasn't around when I first started traveling with bikes. And that is the fact that you can now plan your routes and stuff ahead of time of getting there.
Oh, yeah.
Because go back pre any route planning, Strava, that kind of stuff, you'd have to arrive at your destination, then spend some time scoping it out, and you're going to want to work out where you're going, what you're doing, why. It's basically like a day wasted of your holiday, right? Now you can do all that stuff in advance, and like even around here where we are now, there's like routes up on the wall, right? You've seen some of them?
Yeah, they've got like the map by ride routes in the clubhouse here, which is great. It instantly tells you like traveling to destinations where there is like a hub like this is great, because you have that, and there's group rides that go out from here, and you can find people to ride with and that sort of thing. And a lot of places have these, sprung up like, my friends in Bormio have got a similar sort of setup, and in Girona and Mallorca there's this sort of thing. So that's, like really, really good.
Right, I don't want to like dwell on this all for too long, so I'm mindful we've spoken about it for a while, but there's one thing I was absolutely 100% convinced you were going to say you had to have. Do you know what it is? Drip-on chain wax lube.
Yes.
Not everyone's doing that, right?
No, they're not, but like, I think that's my strategy now. So, if you look at, I'll wax a chain before I go away.
Yeah.
Right? And if you're really keen, you could take more than one chain and then have a fresh wax one on to change halfway through your trip. But what I tend to do is just take one, and then I'll take the drip on, and then I'll top it up after, say, after I've been on a few rides and it's starting to get a bit noisy, I'll top it up.
Practical solution to that as well. You're not going to get an oily chain all over your stuff in your bike box.
Yeah, really good.
All right, well, I feel like there are essentials and must-haves, right? Everyone's going to be slightly different, but I think one of the key things for me is to really keep it fairly simple. You don't have to overcomplicate it.
No.
Just get the bits right, like we've spoken about, and you should have no stress whatsoever. But you can let us know in the comments section down below what bits you deem to be essential when you're traveling. Okay?
Yeah.
Right, it's now time for hot and spicy tech. We're going to kick things off with a little bit of chat about the World Time Trial Champs, because if you missed the memo at the weekend, Grace Brown won the World Time Trial Champs and Remco Evenepoel also won the Men's Time Trial Champs, which means for the first time ever in history, I believe, it's that we've now got the same riders winning the Olympic gold time trial and the World Time Trial gold.
It's nuts, that, isn't it?
First time ever.
I can't believe it's the first time ever.
Technically speaking, Grace Brown was the first person to ever do it because the women's race finished about 4 or 5 hours before the men's. So, you know, technically she can claim that title.
Yeah.
But there's some interesting observations, right? I don't want to dwell on like all the little tech details as such, but basically their gold bikes are absolutely next level.
Yeah.
So Grace Brown has got the Lapia Aerostorm, Remco's got the Specialized Shiv. And, I don't know what your thoughts are on this, but if I was Olympic champion, I would want a gold bike, but I don't think I would go too wild with gold everything.
Remco's gold helmet, that's where we're going with this, isn't it?
This is where I was going to lead to with it.
Yay or nay? Let us know.
Remco's gold helmet.
It's a no from me.
It's also a no from me. Not only is the spaceship helmet not my favourite thing, I don't think making it gold has helped it out.
No.
Well, yeah, you can let us know your thoughts in the comments. It's a no from you?
No, yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm not a fan.
Next up in hot tech.
You can always have too much of a good thing.
You can have too much of it.
But those bikes do look amazing.
Yeah. Next in hot tech. Now, have you seen much about this?
I love this.
This is the absolute black oversized pulley wheel. And they've brought out a new one. Lots of people have seen this. It's got the big hole in the bottom of the pulley wheel, the monoplate, but they've now made one out of a single piece of titanium, right? They're not saying it's 3D printed, presumably it's machined, but you cannot buy this without emailing them first with a picture of your bike to get their approval that they deem it is acceptable for you to put this onto your bike. Please discuss this.
I mean, if you want to know if you really want one of these and you want to know how to take a good picture, we have done a video on how to do a bike vault photo.
Maybe that could.
That would probably help. I think that would help you. But I want to stress that when we do the bike vault, we don't discriminate on price or level of a bike.
I quite literally just pick them out of the vault.
No, but it's not like, you could have a bike that was 50 quid and it could be a super nice.
Yeah, 100%.
It's about celebrating how someone's pride and joy about making that bike look great and giving it some love and presenting it in its best light. So in the same way, a super bike might not make it in. But this is crazy. What it reminds me of is with Ferrari. Not everyone can buy a Ferrari. When the new Ferrari comes out, they don't sell it to anyone.
It's not just click, I'll take one because I've got enough money. You've got to technically be approved by them.
Yeah, you got to be on a list and you know all the rest of it. And there was that thing where someone in the comments will comment and let us know who this is, because I can't remember. But there was some, I don't know, rapper or R&B star or someone. I can't remember who it was, who bought a Ferrari and then put some ostentatious wrap on it and made it look naff. And then Ferrari sued them or threatened to sue them because they brought the brand into disrepute and it was no, but you can there's an argument either way, isn't there?
I can see it.
But it's almost like we're going down that. It's our product cannot be seen on your bike.
We're going down that route on a set of pulley wheels for a bike.
It's what it is. The fact that we're talking about it and people will be talking about this in the comments and people will be outraged by this.
It's worked perfectly.
It's incredible marketing.
Yeah.
Fair play for coming up with that idea, because I think from a marketing perspective, it's a brilliant idea. Do you fully is it totally ethical and do you endorse it? Probably not.
Can I just tell you the quick stats, and then I want to read out the sections on the website.
Okay, hit us.
77.5 grams this thing weighs, so it's pretty blooming light. Up to 34 tooth cassette it can do. It's €1,000. Technically, it's just under €1,000. Let me read out the section from their website. Owing to the very limited and very complicated production of our latest creation, only selected requests will be considered. To express your interest in acquiring this extraordinary piece, kindly contact us via email, accompanied by a photograph of your bicycle. Should your masterpiece reflect the exceptional caliber of our design, you may be extended a personal invitation to purchase. This is our way of honouring those who invested in creating something truly remarkable. Please note, we retain absolute discretion to decline any requests. By submitting your interest, you acknowledge and accept our decision as final.
So we're mean to Connor quite a lot because Connor likes to stick lots of gubbins all over his bicycle.
Yes, he does.
But we're allowed to do this because Connor is also the best cyclist at GCN UK with the most impressive Palmares.
Yeah.
So I feel like he's like the only one that's been a national champion.
He's also ridden the Giro.
And completed the Giro, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but Connor loves gubbins on his bike.
Imagine if I said no to Connor.
I'd love Connor to send in his bike and then and see if they say yes or no.
I think they might say no if he's got too many accessories.
It does
I don't know.
An accessory.
Anyway,
yeah,
it's too wild for me. And talking about oversized pulley wheels, it leads us on to our next oversized pulley wheel system. People are going to hate us for talking about this, but I think it's interesting.
It's like an oversized pulley wheel special. We should have warned people. Trigger warning at the start of the show.
I put it at the start of the show. Right, CeramicSpeed are celebrating their 20th anniversary, and they've created an oversized pulley wheel system that reflects that. And they say it's the pinnacle of their product development so far. 3D printed hollow titanium pulley wheels with a DLC, diamond-like carbon coating apparently. A hand-finished cage with a dark prism logo presented in a commemorative box. Right? It's got ceramic hybrid bearings. Get this right, there's only going to be 200 available.
Right.
It's €2,680. Basically the price of
€2,680.
Which is basically the price of a pretty good bike.
Just the oversized pulley wheel system.
It's just one piece of the puzzle. Yeah. Okay?
I've not seen this yet.
Well, I mean, you can see it's kind of here. But what I do want to pick up on is even though it's priced very high, you'd think this would mean they've got sort of scope for proofreading and double-checking some concepts. Because at the moment, at the time of recording this, the website says it weighs 0 grams. So I think there might be a typo.
I hope it does for that money.
I think there might be a typo. 0 grams.
Net weight. Yeah.
Anyway, I do think it's cool. Remove the fact that it's very expensive. I think it looks neat. It's a neat product, and I get what it's about. I don't know how I can ever get behind the price of stuff like this, though.
Well, it's just not for us, is it?
No.
We can't afford it.
No. Cool. Following on a very expensive theme. Should we carry on more expensive stuff?
Go on, then.
Titanium mudguards or fenders.
Right. Why? What's wrong with plastic ones?
Nothing. You didn't think I was going to say that, did you? There's nothing wrong with plastic mudguards. They're great.
Okay.
But why?
So what's the point of these?
Because they're more premium.
Right. That'd be it.
Titanium.
Hit us then. Come on.
Titanium, more durable. Right. So the guys at... Remember I said about the fully 3D printed titanium aero bike from the guys at number 22 a few weeks back?
It was very nice.
Number 22, I think you said it's titanium is this 22nd element, right?
Indeed.
Yeah. So they've come up with a titanium fender to go...
Can you remember what the 23rd was?
Ribidium. It was actually... That was a good memory. That was a lucky guess.
That's good.
Basically, they've come up with some titanium fenders to go with their crazy expensive titanium bikes. Yeah. You've got a couple of different options, whether you have a raw finish, an anodized finish, an anodized phase finish, or an anodized and Cerakote finish, or you can have a mirror polished. I can't even say the price without a bit of a grin on my face. They start at $1,000, I believe it is, and depending on if you have an anodized and Cerakote finish, $1,500. I mean, that's like the price of a winter bike.
Do you know what? I feel like this as a trend is just happening more and more and more. Like as an economic trend.
Like creating halo products.
Yeah. But it's like, I think a few brands have obviously seen the success of like polarizing the market into this super expensive thing. And I feel that now it's almost a bandwagon that everyone's jumping on.
Like,
and it's cool because it's like, it's cool, like, having really expensive, crazy stuff. But the weird thing is with cycling is in other spheres, like with cars, like you see like a Pagani, or some mental hypercar, Enzo Ferrari or something. People don't get annoyed. They just go, oh, there it goes. Cool. That was a Ferrari. Nice. Like, whatever. But like, that's kind of cool. But with the cycling stuff, people seem to get like annoyed.
Do you think
probably a topic for another show?
Do you think people are going to be annoyed at titanium mudguards? Probably.
Some people will be, I suspect.
But I personally don't think I'm ever going to buy a titanium mudguard. But I can appreciate the fact, like, what's gone into designing it to have like no seams and have like a perfectly formed single piece of titanium. Like, that's not an easy thing to achieve.
No, it's pretty cool, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'm all out of facts about titanium mudguards. We should now move on to talking about slightly more affordable
titanium
titanium all-road bike. This is from Ribble, right? British brand. This was actually out last week, but it missed the cut of the GCNTech show due to the time of filming anyway. So they've made what they're saying is a more affordable titanium all-road bike. The material lends itself for that kind of thing, right? Super tough, durable. Remember did you not ride that titanium Ribble a few years back?
Yeah.
Remember we were saying about rock strikes and you were going to chuck a rock at it, and we were like, no, don't chuck a rock at it.
Yeah.
But anyway, this is merging like 3D printed additive manufacturing technology in some sections, and like your traditional welded bit of tubes and frames. And I just think it's kind of cool, right? Because you can get a fully built all-road titanium sport from £3,499, but if you go up to the top spec, what they're calling as a halo build spec, goes up to basically £10,000. But for a complete titanium bike, it's pretty competitive, huh?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on all-road bikes?
Yeah, great.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing.
I think it's great. I think as well, for a lot of people getting into cycling, there's that thing of like, oh, do I get like a pure road bike? Do I get a gravel bike? Do I get this? And they don't want to buy more than one bike. And you don't need more than one bike, and you don't need the best in category gravel bike or the best pure performance aero road bike, because you're not at the level where you're going to extract the benefits from that product. So
I think the concept of the all-road is good.
Something that's just versatile and then makes it accessible for people, I think is great.
Yeah.
And you can try different things and find out what sort of cycling you prefer.
Yeah.
I think they're great.
Probably don't want the titanium fenders for your sort of entry starting point though.
No.
Anyway, nonetheless, I think it's a cool looking bike. 35mm tyres, you can fit in that bad boy, internal cable routing. And I'm all for this kind of stuff. Right, that wraps up Hot Tech this week, and we'll have more Hot Tech next week.
We should probably tell people why we're here, because we haven't actually done that yet.
That's a really good point.
So we're here with the Bossana Clubhouse. So thanks for having us. You can actually stay here, and we're staying in some rooms over there, which is very nice.
Very luxury.
But one of the big things we're going to be doing while we're here is, next to Bossana del Grappa, is the Monte Grappa, which is an incredible mountain that I feel people have sort of heard of because it's been in the Giro d'Italia, but I don't think they realise how amazing it is. It was a major battlefield in World War I. Thousands and thousands and thousands of people lost their lives fighting there. But also there's 10 different roads up it, 10 different tarmac roads, ascents up the same mountain. And so we had the crazy idea of riding up all 10 of them in one ride. So that's what we're going to do here.
I love the fact you're saying we, like the royal we. Do you want to tell me the actual decision that came to how we came to this? Ollie goes, do you want to ride up Monte Grappa 10 times with me? And I said, absolutely not.
But he will drive along in a support bus who got the ID Buzz.
Yeah, I've got the ID Buzz out here.
Italian ID Buzz.
Italian ID Buzz. I'm going to help. There's no way I'm cycling up there 10 times, but I'll help you out. Anyway, we're going to make a video all about it. So if you want to see it and see how we get on, subscribe to GCN and subscribe to GCNTech to make sure you don't miss out.
17,000 metres of elevation in one ride.
Absolute mad. You've lost the plot. Right. It's now time for comments of the week. This is the part of the show where we read out the comments that you've been leaving underneath our videos from last week. Tom Cafferty 5591 says, Alex, as someone who is 74 and watching this video, my version of tech innovation is going from friction downtube shifters to index shifting downtube levers. There you go. I like that. Yeah, that's kind of what I said. Everyone's idea of innovation tech is at a completely different stage. And this is where Tom sits at.
Imagine what it's going to be in like 5 years, 10 years.
In like 10 years' time, people are like, I couldn't even bear going back to wireless shifting.
Yeah,
It'd be awful.
Yeah.
Go on, underneath Feather's bike.
Yeah, so we posted a video about Feather's new pro bike. And Jikemkins says, it's not hard to love a champion hill climber when their name is Feather. That's just cool. It's a good acronym, isn't it?
Yeah. I still think...
It's a good acronym. I'm into it.
Imagine if one day we found out Feather had actually just changed his name to that. Tom Cruise, not the Tom Cruise, 3774 says, I hope one day GCNTech gets to visit companies like Daramo, THM and Schmolka so that we can see how these crazy ultralight parts are made.
It would be good, wouldn't it?
I would hope so too, actually.
Yeah. I might accidentally forget to put some of the bits back as well as I walk out the factory.
Oh no, they fell into my bag.
Yeah. So you did a video on why the chain will never be replaced. Some comments underneath that. Yeah,
people actually really liked this because it was, I don't want to say back to basics, but like a simple like video looking at the concept of something that's important, right? DJ Gen XX says, you're absolutely right. The chain isn't going anywhere. It's too efficient and too cheap to be replaced en masse. And then also, Matt, Action Variant says, the humble chain cannot be defeated. While belt drives are expensive, they're on the market for applications where the performance disadvantage is not of any concern. High mileage, zero maintenance makes them a great option for commuting and adventure where speed and efficiency are not priority. They say they're still expensive, but within the range of affordability for mid-price bikes. Even with some limited compatibility, the system is easy to implement and customize. Basically, they're saying with the driven system, you're also locked in with zero cross-compatibility, minimal gains coming at a significant cost. Well, they basically summed up what I said in the entire video, which is why I thought it was an important video to make. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Right, there you go. Keep your comments coming. We'll read the best ones out next week. And it now leads on to the bike vault. Right.
Yeah, where you get to submit pictures of your bikes.
Fundamental issue here.
Yeah, there's a link in the description below this video to the uploader. Click on that. You can do it there.
Normally what I do now is go underneath the tech show desk to find the bell.
The bell.
We don't have a bell. Isaac can put a sound effect in. Does it every time.
All right, we'll do
every
that.
time we have tech show on tour, we have this issue. Rob Van Dogenaar says, autumn is coming for some rides on his Fons Multistrata, carbon frame, custom paint job, Shimano GRX, Panaracer Gravel Kings. Oh, it's the limited edition GRX, the polished silver. Got a lot of time for that.
Yeah, I love it.
Are we super nice in that?
Yeah.
Super nice.
Easy. Love it.
I just realised one thing I didn't mention in Hot Tech. Don't worry about it. I'll mention it later in the end of the show.
Frankie G has this giant, which is from 2006, T-Mobile livery.
Gold chain? Bosch.
Also, I like that FSA Carbon SLK crankset. That's
good.
Great. I'll tell you what, those crank arms look long as well, don't they?
Probably didn't need the big size shadow stand for that. Available at shop.
Shadow stand. I'm really into that. Really into that.
Do you know what I like is the wheels from that era where they ran like paired spokes with the bigger gaps around the rim.
Classic.
Yeah.
Classic.
Are we super nice in that?
Rolf Viggers.
Yeah.
Don't you see Rolf wheels much these days?
I absolutely loved them. Did they... I don't actually know the answer to this. Did they
we'll get back to you on that.
Did they get bought out? Did they get bought out by Bontrager or something?
And
then basically copied the design.
Yeah.
Next on Misplaced Texan. Misplaced Texan next with a Fuji Team Pro C4 with Shimano Tegra 6600 group set, Mavic Arcis wheel set. What do we make of it?
So he's got lizard skins bar tape on there, and there's a problem. If you look, he's running white bar tape, which is fine, but
it's not very clean.
He's fallen into the trap of white bar tape, which is I mean, look at it. Look at that. And also, black saddle, white bar tape, bit of a clash, gold chain,
Fist bump.
but, you know, there's the
triple chain ring on a road bike. Don't see that very often.
nice shrubbery behind him. It's a great bike, but I just think the white bar tape is dirty white bar tape. Oh no.
It's just a nice, sorry.
Yeah.
Mark GC next. They say, hi, Alex, I'm not sure if I previously sent a picture of the wrong bike by mistake. So they've sent another one in.
Ooh.
It's their Riley Fusion.
No. It's a Sato.
Oh, it's a Sato. Yeah, sorry.
He sent a Riley Fusion before.
Oh, right. Double.
Do you know what's crazy? The little sort of lights that have been set up.
10 out of 10 for effort.
So, yeah, like really gone to town on it. I love the Envy wheels.
Yeah.
They are.
I mean, if we were going to be picky, but because we like to be picky, do you not think it has now made the chain set overexposed? Because it's now.
But look how shiny it is because he's cleaned it.
Hugely reflective.
It looks like he's using those bottles that clip on at the bottle. What are they called? Those ones?
Fidlock.
Yeah, it's like that sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's not like a bottle cage.
Yeah.
I think it's really smart. I think it's great. I think it's super nice. It's easy. He's put a lot of effort in.
Right.
He's even polished the floor of the museum where he appears to live.
Super nice. Mike Jenkins next. First time out with some new Hunt 60mm Deep Boy wheels. GP 5000 tyres. They've set them up tubeless. Well, it's going to be super nice straight away.
I'll tell you what.
Click on the link here. Let's see what we've got.
He said there are 4 Silka products in this picture. He's given us a little game to play.
We're going to guess. Probably some bar tape.
You reckon?
Yeah, potentially. Still could do some good bar tape.
I'm gonna go straight up waxed chain.
Yeah.
I can see that he's got a titanium mech hanger on there, 3D printed mech hanger.
That's 3. Have we got a Silka water bowl? Have we got Silka tubeless sealant? Is that like a trick one?
They are set up tubeless, so I'm gonna go sealant, yeah.
So he's trying to be sneaky with that one.
I'm gonna go sealant, yeah. That's our guess. Let us know in the comments if we got it right.
Yeah.
How we did.
Right, and then now, like seeing as we're quite literally surrounded by beautiful bikes, excuse me, I've picked one out to put into the bike vault, and then you're going to pick one out as well. We'll put a picture up on screen. In fact, I'll have a picture up on screen of the one that I've picked out now, because I'm looking at it right now. It's a Diamante SV. It's a signature series, right? I've had to find this out. There's 50 of these available. It looks absolutely boss.
You didn't know that when you picked it?
No, I didn't know.
He looked that up afterwards. And
yeah, I had
like,
to look it up afterwards.
Right. He's very smart.
I'm looking at it. Dura-Ace all round, CeramicSpeed big boy pulley wheels, Fulcrum deep boy wheels. And would you describe it as a matte beige finish on the front? I feel like beige undersells it.
It looks like pottery that's not been
glazed.
Yeah, fired in a kiln. But then it's really cool because then it's got the contrast. I really like it. I think it looks smart. I've not really seen a finish like that before. And speaking of finishes that I've not I have seen one like this before, but you don't see them very often. Is the one that I've put behind me, which I picked. So this
You got a gravel bike?
Yeah, so it is a Basso Powder.
Yeah.
It's got, and this was done for the Gravel Worlds, which were in this region last year.
Oh yeah, wow, I forgot.
But what I really liked about this bike was the finish on it, which has this like marble effect paintwork.
Oh, it's bloody
like
cool.
It looks like marble, like from a kitchen worktop. But it's but I like that juxtaposition of it being like a really heavy, dense, strong material but it's carbon and it's really light and it's hollow. I think it's kind of cool.
Well, I mean,
but it looks really smart.
We can't vote on our own bikes. Well, they're not ours, but we can't vote on them ourselves.
Yeah.
So you have to let us know in the comments section down below. Would you give them a nice or a super nice? And pick them out next week. Won't we?
Yeah.
Yours has also got paint protection film on it to protect that absolute boss finish.
I think that's a great addition on gravel bikes. I think it's great.
Okay, right. We have rambled on for long enough for this week's tech show on tour. We've actually got a big bike ride that you're doing. We need to actually crack on with. So, hope you enjoyed the show. If you have, give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe to GCNTech to show your support, and we'll see you back in GCNTech Mega Base next week.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.